Hi there, this is BoxPred. You are welcome. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to be talking about the rematch on the 21st of May between Pascal and Bernard Hopkins. This fight is for the IBO light heavyweight title, the WBC light heavyweight title, and the WBC Diamond light heavyweight title, for what that's worth. Now, my prediction for this fight has not changed from the original fight, and my prediction is a victory for Bernard Hopkins by decision. Just to address, I have a video up on the first fight, and which ended in a controversial draw, in which I predicted a victory by decision for Bernard Hopkins. I'm going to actually arrange my videos and bring that video back to the near the top, so you can check that video out if you like. You find it on my homepage in my video list, because a lot of what I said in that video still stands, or pretty much all of it still stands. That's what I'm going to say. And what I'm doing here is just adding a couple of bits on, just to address the questions I've been asking myself since this rematch was announced. Now, my thoughts on the last fight. Okay, I thought it was controversial, and I thought personally Hopkins took it, but it's a type of fight where, a draw, I'm not complaining too much. Like I said in my first video, Pascal was a champion. You've got to go above and beyond to take a champion's title, and that's the way it is. And you know that going into the fight, and it wasn't that clear cut that you would say there's no way they can give this to Pascal, or no way they can call it a draw. Mainly because of the 3 knockdowns. I think that's what swayed the judges a bit, and yeah, so I'm not complaining too much in that department. And the questions I'm asking myself when looking at this rematch here is, what did each fighter learn from the first fight, and do they have the capabilities to apply what they've learned? And that's looking at each fighter respectively. Now, what did Pascal learn? Did he learn anything? I'm not going to say what I think he learned, but I'm here to discuss whether I think he has the ability to apply what he did learn, because he would have probably learned a bit more about, definitely would have learned what it's like to fight a bit of a nuisance in Hopkins. He might have got an idea about how Hopkins is choosing to fight against him. He might have, personally, I think, seen more of his weaknesses in himself, stuff that he needs to improve on rather than what Hopkins needs to improve on, and weaknesses in Hopkins' game. And I think if he tightens up, the first thing he has to do is tighten up his weaknesses before he goes on to try and expose Hopkins' weaknesses. But here's the thing: do I believe that Pascal is capable of carrying more than one game plan, and then in turn, if things don't go to plan in plan A, is he able to switch to plan B during the fight? To me, he may well show us in this fight that he can, but I don't think he can to the level he needs to, because I've seen no evidence that he can really. I've really seen Pascal fight pretty much one way. Even when he beat Chad Dawson, I think he fought the way he normally fights. He likes to be to come in with flurries and get back out. He likes to have a bit of distance. This is stuff I mentioned in my first video, and I don't think he hasn't shown me any evidence that he can change that. And if he does manage to change that, is he able to change it to the level that he needs to be effective against a guy like Hopkins? So that's what I feel about the question. One thing that concerns me, and there's two major issues here. One is what concerns me for Pascal, and one that concerns me for Bernard Hopkins. And the one here I'm just going to mention is what concerns me about Pascal is his stamina level. He was gassing in the first fight. Even though there's an age gap between him and Hopkins, I felt, to me, looked far more in control towards the end of the fight. and I feel Jean Pascal does have stamina issues when he's really tested throughout the fight and getting onto the later in the fight. A lot of fighters have this against Hopkins anyway, because he's that type of fighter that can weigh you down. And I think it could happen again in this fight. Pascal needs to have worked on his stamina for me. So let me move on to Hopkins now. What do I think Hopkins has learned? I think Hopkins, again and again, not what did he learn from Pascal, but more can he implement whatever he has learned personally? The answer is obviously, to me, there's an obvious yes, he can implement it because he's been doing it his whole career. He learns from every fight he fights, especially in a rematch. To face a guy like a technician like Hopkins is very difficult because he started off slowly and got knocked down 3 times against Pascal. That's part and parcel. People may be like, saying in this rematch, but he's going to get knocked down again. Look, he's getting knocked. The age has caught up with him. This is the type of fighter and type of boxer that Hopkins is. He'll start slowly because he's working you out. But then look what happened once he worked Pascal out. He shut him out the game. Hopkins dominated the fight pretty much and dictated the pace and the tempo. This is a 40-odd-year-old guy dictating the pace and the tempo against a guy in his prime. If he did it once, he can do it again. That's just what I think, in my opinion. And he may have started off slow. Some people don't think that will carry on in this fight, but the tendency is when you face a technician that it will start off from round 13 and go onwards. Even if Hopkins starts out a bit slower here, the longer the fight goes on, I can't see any other way but Hopkins getting better and better. He does it against all his fighters. He does it against people. He's done it against people who have been far better, clever boxers than Jean Pascal. Jean Pascal might be a lot of things, but one thing I don't rate him as is a thinking boxer, somebody who can adapt and react to the situation in the ring. That's what I'm saying. Can he implement another game plan? I don't think if he does, I don't think he's doing it naturally. I think he's going to be doing it because he's trained to do that. And there's a big difference between the fighter who can do it naturally, adapt in the fight, every fight, and a guy who trains specifically to adapt. Oh, if this happens, I'm going to do this. Some guys, like, they go in the ring and they do it off the top of the dome. They're just like, okay, this ain't working, I'm going to switch now. And they don't need the corner to dictate to them and teach and let them know. They do it automatically, and they're normally guys who are really successful because they're going in with a clear mind for themselves. And that's how I see Hopkins. But because he is experienced as well, which is on his side. But I did mention concern for each fighter, and my concern is in this fight are those knockdowns. Is Pascal going to get to him a bit too much this time? Is he actually going to stop Hopkins? Is he going to be able to get punches off against Hopkins and actually, I don't think it's a case of Hopkins getting old overnight. We've said that so many times about Hopkins. I don't really buy into that anymore. There's no point even considering it. I don't think he will get old overnight, but you can see a little bit of the reactions may not be there, and a little bit of, in boxing it only takes one punch, doesn't it? It only takes one mistake, and he went down 3 times in the first fight. So, is that increasing in this fight? Does Pascal get more success early on, particularly with getting those shots off? But just to say, if this wasn't Jean Pascal, if this had been someone like Chad Dawson, for example, who is more of a technician and a thinking fighter and an adaptive fighter, then my prediction here would be a lot different, because I'd have to consider, Dawson can learn from his mistakes better than Jean Pascal can. But it's always tempting to say Jean Pascal can learn and he can right his wrongs in his second fight. Why can't he? It's very difficult and a far different matter going into the ring and doing that. Actually implementing that in the ring is way harder than you might think. So they're my thoughts. I'm really interested to let me know what you guys think. Leave me comments if you agree or disagree, because these are just my opinions. Please subscribe if you like my videos. I'm predicting Bernard Hopkins becomes the oldest guy to win a title on May the 21st, and I think it's going to be by decision. So thanks very much for watching my video. This is BoxPred, and I'm out.